So I want to talk about mental illness because it's not something I talk about very often in my struggle through all that. I have memories of being really depressed and really sad early on in my childhood. And I had grown up in a Christian home, but the blanket of depression was really comfortable for me. Everyone that I was around in my childhood really broke and really hurting people. So I was just constantly surrounded with exactly what I was feeling on the inside. I couldn't get away from it.
You found me lost and broken.
I was searching for something to turn what I was feeling off. About probably 13 or 14. I smoked weed for the first time and this depression comes off of me and it's great, it's wonderful. And immediately I'm hooked because I have to have more of this relief. I had a friend commit suicide. When that happened, everything just kind of went downhill fast. My friend commits suicide, I'm smoking weed like crazy, and my parents find out. I told them that I was smoking because I didn't want to live. I didn't have any ambition. I just had pain, and I didn't know what to do with it. They took me to get evaluated by a doctor, and that was the first time I got admitted into a mental hospital.
If I could just touch
16, 17, 18 were really rough for me. Marijuana graduated to cocaine and hallucinogens and all kinds of everything, pills and anything I could get my hands on. My mental health just deteriorated. I was so strung out, so out of my mind, not able to comprehend normal day-to-day conversations. Well, when I was 18, I was in a state of mania. If you've ever seen someone like on a street talking to themselves, acting crazy and not able to connect with reality, that's kind of where I was at. I couldn't comprehend what was going on outside of my own mind. I would try to communicate with people, try to tell them and explain to them what was going on in my head. And I made sense to me, but I didn't make sense to anyone else, and that was really frustrating. I ended up in a mental hospital. What they ended up diagnosing me with was bipolar type 2. Bipolar type 1, those are the types of people that their emotions change in an instant. Bipolar type 2 is much more gradual in mood swings. It's very, very high highs and very low lows. It's prolonged periods of time. June of 2014, I get put into this mental hospital. Again, I'm just sick, not able to comprehend with anything. The turning point was a pastor, actually. I'll never forget the first time that she walked in the room. Stacy is about 5'10", she always wears heels, so she's about 6'1", 6'2", anywhere she goes. She wears really, really gaudy jewelry, and it's very, very pretty, and it works for her, but it's really flashy and funny. And she has really short, spiky blonde hair, but what stood out to me in that moment was this, I could see light coming out of her eyes, this like physical light, and I was very fascinated and intrigued with that. And so we talked for a while, and she prayed for me, and I didn't make much sense, but she came back and we would talk and we would pray, and I slowly started to be back in my right mind. The whole month of June was just me trying to gather pieces of my brain, gather pieces of my heart, and figure out what the heck had happened and what was going on. And I think it was gradual. I don't remember there being a day where a light bulb came on and, you know, God radically delivered me, but I can see him all throughout those months and those weeks of me fighting against the emotions and fighting against everything that I was feeling. There is so much hope for someone that feels like they're struggling with anxiety or depression or bipolar. There's so much hope. We're not meant to do this thing alone. Don't try and do it alone. Don't be ashamed. Identify those things. Don't run from them. Don't suppress them. Be really, really honest and vulnerable with yourself and people that you trust, and bring somebody into it. And there are a lot of people that will love you really, really well through the process of getting your healing and feeling balanced and feeling like you can function properly. I'm here today. I don't take anything for bipolar medication. I have been completely healed of it. My mood isn't sporadic anymore. I'm responsible for what I'm feeling, and it's not anyone's fault. I don't have a right to attack someone because I'm feeling angry. I don't have a right to lash out to someone because I'm hurt or I'm offended. And so it's so incredible for me to be the kind, loving, peace-holding, joyful person that I am, knowing that I come from the background that I do. I still get angry and I still get upset, but I've learned what it looks like to cultivate the type of relationship with my heart and with my mind to deal with those things in a healthy manner.